First, the top news headlines. Science and technology, important tool for development of a civilization, asserts Union Minister of State R.K. Ranjan. Southern Angami Public Organization SAPO calls for 72 hours ban along Nagaland-Manipur border. BJP expels 36 office bearers, members of BJP Tamenglong district. Hello and a very good evening. You're watching the MAMI TV English News Bulletin. I'm ALBINA RIAMEI. Union Minister of State Dr. R.K. Ranjan has asserted that science and technology is the most important tool for development of the civilization. The Union Minister of State was speaking at a one-day awareness program on science and technology organized by Indian Institute of Information Technology today. The awareness program was held on the theme Recent Advances in Engineering and Technology. Speaking further, Dr. R.K. Ranjan said learning science does not mean just having the knowledge about certain technology, but the effort to know the surrounding also requires science. Stating that science is prerequisite for the development of humankind, Dr. R.K. Ranjan stressed the need for the youths in the state to possess scientific temperament and be part of advancing science and technology. Stating that there are hardly any scholars working on space research, he expressed the importance to produce more scientists. He also lamented that hardly any Manipuri students are pursuing their higher studies in IIIT, which is one of the top institutes of India, and expressed a desire for students in the state to avail the benefits from the institute.
Human beings is having 5 senses, and applying that 5 sense, you know, the smell, touching, and when the wind blow, you feel. And these are all different kind of sense. Ancient Indian peoples using this sense imparted with the human body reached to moon, Chandrama, Suraj, sun. We describe and we explain each and every heavenly, what you call that, stars and nebulas. We already analyze without going that side using spacecraft.
Speaking on the occasion, coordinator of IIIT Manipur, Dr. Kishorjit Nongmekapam, said that the program was organized as part of research and development project of Government of India to motivate young students. He further stated that the project was taken up on the theme Scientific Social Responsibility with an object to generate new ideas from the young minds to further development in the field of science and technology. Stating that IIIT Manipur is among the 25 IIIT in India, Dr. Kishorjit said that the institute has world-class infrastructure and has been working to give best education in advanced science to the students.
Masida lairiba facilities natraga faculty singse, it's like yamna almost like a world class ni highway sida lairiba kano singse, maybe the buildings singse di yamna nan bo oidragasu malung da lairiba equipments dagi kari dagi lairiba mayam sidi almost like a world class ni sing havda. Even we have a server which costs around the 3 crore people server ga lairiba lung sida to aina hiring basu ke doge kanda sahi khudingi angang se khoi joint entrance exam da, like at the level of IITs and NITs mayam siga samane khoi da sida enter khoi ming chalakpase wadabu akhoi sida sida ming chalakpase adum sahi khudingi sitse vacant way plus angang se Manipur da gi yorokti central counseling to matam sida maduna kai guba khoina sigi pochina akoina angang sing se awareness lak patar gadi soidna khoi gi kana basu yam phangani state ki oina su ado angang sing du yam kana gani.
Faculties of the institute enlighten class 11 and class 12 students coming from different schools on advanced engineering and technology. The Southern Angami Public Organization SAPO, an apex tribal body of the Southern Angami areas bordering Manipur, has called for a total ban its jurisdiction from March 20 midnight. The ban is called regarding the non-withdrawal of the Manipur government's armed personnel at Kezolsa and the continued undertaking of developmental activities by the Manipur government, SAPO said. The organization in a press release further said that the non-withdrawal of the Manipur government's armed forces is in violation of the standing agreement with the MAMI Public Organization TPO resolution till any final verdict is served. Despite calls to resolve the issue at a disputed land, SAPO said that the 72 hours total national highway ban along the southern Angami stretch will be imposed with limited exemptions. Entry and exit of all Manipur-bound private or public passengers, goods carrier vehicles, commuters coming from Manipur or applying to Manipur state will be totally restricted during the 72-hour ban. However, vehicles on medical emergencies, paramilitary vehicles, press and media, students, educational institutions, teachers, faculty will be exempted, the press release said. BJP has suspended 36 members of BJP Tamenglong district in Nungba Assembly constituency for 6 years for supporting Congress candidate of the AC, Gaikangam, in the recent state assembly elections. They were suspended on charge of indulging in anti-party activities. The 36 members were suspended under the provision of Article 25, breach of discipline clause. The suspended members are a special invitee of BJP, Gaidon Kamai, President of Tamenglong district, Yuva Morcha, King Suwang Maringmai, President of Tamenglong Mahila Morcha, Paining Chunglu, President of Tamenglong Mandal Yuva Morcha, TK Philip, President of Kishan Morcha Nungba Mandal, Gailan Jai Kamai, Secretary of BJYM Tamenglong, Maiziangam Kamai, 21 active members and 9 primary members. The suspension order were signed by President of BJP Tamenglong District M Daniel, General Secretary Organization Joshua Dangmai, President of BJP Nungba Mandal Makupun Rongmai, and General Secretary Organization of the Mandal M Tuanku Rongmai. It is worth mentioning that BJP candidate Dipu Gangmai defeated Gaikangam by 3,786 votes in Nungba AC in the just concluded general election. A Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose 125th birth anniversary celebration committee Manipur was formed during a meeting in March 17 held at the residence of Haubizam Gitajan at Ghari Awang Lekai. In a press release issued by the Assistant Secretary of All India Committee CH Prem Chandra, the meeting was chaired by Thaunaujam Ngoba. K. Bidhu and T.H. Sujaboro were appointed as the advisors, T.H. Ngoba as the president, and Ram Chandra M. Amutombi and C.H. Prem Chandra as the vice president, and H. Gitajan as the general secretary. April 14 is celebrated all across the country, remembering the bravery of Ajat Hind Force. Office of Memorial Committee and Manipur Committee will jointly organize Moirang Diwas in connection to the 125th birthday anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, it stated. A bike rally from Silchar will reach Moirang on April 4 to pay homage to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and Indian National Army. People from the northeast states will take part in a bike rally. The committee appealed for people's participation in the event. India records 2,075 fresh COVID-19 cases with 71 deaths in the last 34 hours. With this, India's COVID-19 tally increased to 4.30 crore, while the active cases declined to 27,802 according to Union Health Ministry data. The death count due to the viral disease climbed to 5.16 lakh and the active cases comprise 0.06% of the total infections. The national COVID-19 recovery rate was also recorded at 98.73% and the daily positivity rate was recorded at 0.56% and the weekly positivity rate stood at 0.41%, the ministry said. Meanwhile, with 3,383 patients having recovered in the last 24 hours, the cumulative tally of recovered patients surged to 4.24 crore. India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has also exceeded 181.04 crore across the country. On the other hand, COVID-19 vaccination for the age group 12 to 14 years, which started on March 16, has covered more than 11 lakh adolescents have been administered with the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine. Vice President of India M Venkaiah Naidu today asked people of the country to give up their colonial mindset and learn to take pride in their own identity. He called for total rejection of the Macaulay system of education in the 75th year of independence, saying it imposed a foreign language as the medium of education in the country and confined education to the elite. The imposition of a foreign language as a medium of education confined education to a small section of the society, depriving a vast population of the right to education, Vice President Naidu said in his address after inaugurating the South Asian Institute of Peace and Reconciliation at the Dev Sanskriti Vishwavidyalaya in Haridwar. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi today cautioned that inflation will rise further and urged the government to act now to protect the people of the country. Asserting that inflation is a tax on all Indians, Rahul Gandhi said record price rise had crushed the poor and the middle class even before the Russia-Ukraine war began. Retail inflation hit an 8-month high of 6.07% in February and wholesale price base inflation soared to 13.11% on account of hardening of crude oil and non-food item prices, according to government data released on Monday. The rise in crude oil and natural gas prices after the Russian invasion of Ukraine, which began on February 24, has put pressure on the wholesale price index. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida will be in India for a 2-day India-Japan annual summit that begins Saturday. This will be Kishida's first visit to the country since he took charge of the office last year. Russia's aggression against Ukraine is an outrage that undermines the very foundation of the order of the international community, including Asia, he said. The Japanese PM added that with Prime Minister Modi of India, he planned to confirm their intention to work towards the success of the Quad Summit meeting among the leaders of Japan, India, Australia and the United States to be held in Tokyo within the next few months, as well as their cooperation. Meanwhile, the Foreign Ministry in a statement on Thursday said that both sides are looking to deepen partnership. The head of the Russian delegation in talks with Ukrainian officials says the parties have come closer to an agreement on a neutral status for Ukraine. Vladimir Medinsky, who led the Russian negotiators in several rounds of talks with Ukraine, including this week, said that the sides have narrowed their differences on the issue of Ukraine dropping its bid to join NATO and adopting a neutral status. He added that the sides are now halfway on issues regarding the demilitarization of Ukraine. Zelensky noted that while Kyiv insists that Russia's backed separatist regions in Ukraine must be brought back into the fold, Russia believes that the people of the region must be allowed to determine their fate themselves. Russia recognized the separatist region's independence and used a call for military support as a pretext to launch an attack on Ukraine on February 24. Zelensky noted that a meeting between Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is possible after the negotiators finalize a draft treaty to end the hostilities and it receives preliminary approval by the country's governments. Medinsky also bristled at a recent statement by Oleksiy Arestovich, an advisor to Zelensky, who called for disrupting railway links to supply Russian troops in Ukraine, saying it could undermine the talks. Before we end the bulletin, let's look at the top news headlines once again. Science and technology, important tool for development of a civilization, asserts Union Minister of State R.K. Ranjan. Southern Angami public organization SAPO calls for 72 hours ban along Nagaland-Manipur border. BJP expels 36 office bearers, members of BJP Tamenglong district. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us. Have a great evening.